talk about the twin flame stages, what the real stages are. And I mean, it should be clear to you by the end of this video also, like how you can tell these are the real stages. And for this to make sense to you, we have to start with this. There's not really stages in the way that you're thinking. Because here's the thing, guys. When people think of twin flame stages, they're thinking of things I got to do and steps I got to go through to get to union, right? And first of all, what makes union happen is when you are not trying to make it happen, actually. If you're focused on an outcome with your twin flame, that's why they run. That's like the main reason they run. And I'll show you, resources. I've been doing this a long time where I explain that. Um, I've explained that a lot on this YouTube channel, but the problem with stages is it keeps your mind focused on a goal or an outcome with your twin flame. And so what I'm going to explain to you today are experiences that you will have, but I wouldn't really call them stages. And they don't necessarily have to happen in order. That's again, I really don't like the concept of twin flame stages. And most of the twin flame stages videos that I've done, I come right out and I go, guys, there's no stages. Okay. But I know people are looking for that. That's one of those twin flame myths that just won't die, is that there's these stages you got to go through. And again, the thing is there are experiences that you will have that are very paranormal. They're not this is a not a normal experience. That's why, people when they meet their twin flame, they know that it's got to be something like that because this is so weird. It's so paranormal and spiritual. But again, making a game of cat and mouse out of it. This whole concept of stages makes it look like you got to sit down and do all these specific steps in order to achieve this outcome. I got to make sure, okay, I'm going through stage one, I'm doing this thing, and I got to do these things here. And then when I get to stage two, I got to start doing these things. And then when I get to stage three, there's these other things over there, and blah, blah, blah. And the whole entire time, your entire plan is to be with your twin. And that's why they're not with you. Again, this is a paradox. This is one of the first things that I teach my twin flame students. Over 7,000, you guys, twin flames that I've coached. Over 7,000. You can go look at my Twin Flame Success Stories playlist on this YouTube channel. There's a playlist called Twin Flame Success Stories, and there's people on there that I've helped to get married to their twin flame. They're living together. There's always people leaving comments on my channel going, Kurt, we're together. We're getting married. We're going on a vacation, whatever, right? It's all day, every day, guys. I've coached so many people. Here's what I tell them. It's a paradox. You're actually not doing anything to get your twin flame to come back at all. You're doing something else. And when your twin flame comes back, it is a byproduct of this other thing that you're doing, which is focusing on your awakening. And awakening is not psychological. So it's not healing. Healing is good. Healing is great. But that's the mind. And there's nothing you can do with your mind that's going to ever make you more of a soul. And in fact, the mind is the whole problem. And the more you stay focused on changing the mind, the more that you're pushing whatever outcome you want, you're pushing that away from you, right? Because you're trying to say, in order to become a soul, I have to rearrange the contents of my mind. So Buddha and Jesus and Eckhart Tolle and Charlotte Jacobek and Paramahansa Yogananda, whenever they hear people say stuff like that, they just get such a laugh out of that, man. They get such a laugh out of that. The New Agers that tell you to do the healing, right? They tell you to do that stuff, and they insist that it's actually spiritual, even though it's psychology, has nothing to do with the soul at all. So remember, body, mind, soul, right? They're going, oh, yeah, you got to change the contents of your mind and then you'll become a soul. Right. Again, those same people recognize all the masters as the masters, Yogananda, Jesus, Buddha, right? Alan Watts, right? But then they tell you to do stuff that the masters would never tell you to do. You can do those things. I've spent time with a psychologist. I have done that. But it was to work out issues with my family, you guys. And my twin flame and I, we were already good. So it's not the psychology that I did, healing, that got her to stay at all. So what did I do? I released identification as the mind. I'm not the mind. I'm consciousness. Let's try this exercise, and then I'll tell you the stages. They're not really stages. There's no stages. There's no stages. Okay? I'm just going to say it. So let's try this exercise. There's thoughts and emotions going on. And you say to yourself, why am I thinking about this? Why do I feel this way? Right? You ever said that to yourself? Of course you have. Everybody has. All right. Who's asking? Who's asking? Like how is it that there's thinking and emotions and there's awareness of thinking and emotion? What is awareness? What is consciousness? Because there's awareness of thinking. And you think that you are thinking. Are you? Because there's awareness of thinking. What is that? What is awareness? Just awareness. It's the soul. And you don't think your way into awareness. This is why the first chapter of Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, is called You Are Not Your Mind. You can do all the healing in the world, and there's nothing wrong with doing that, but it'll never make you more consciousness. Thinking is exactly what is standing in your way. That's the teaching of genuine spiritualism. Thousands of years old, ancient Zen spiritualism, real spiritualism, not the pop culture stuff on the internet. And the problem with doing those things, doing psychology to get your twin flame to come back, is it pushes them away, guys. It pushes them away. So here's what you got to do. You got to stop chasing your twin flame. You got to let go of the outcome. Stop trying to get somewhere with this and just be. Be a soul. And that's it. Be a soul. And I talk about this all the time. So as I'm going through this list of stages, they're not stages, we will inevitably talk about this stuff. Your twin flame is one soul, guys. You are SI, simultaneous incarnations. Simultaneous incarnations. SI. I like that better than twin flames because twin flames makes it sound like it's super soulmates, and it's not. And I don't think I have to convince you of that. And I make videos about that all the time, guys. Just go look around on my channel. What is it really like to be with your twin flame? The purpose of meeting your twin flame is that they trigger your forced spiritual awakening, or it's been called a spontaneous spiritual awakening. And there's a lot of things that trigger that, can trigger that. I just made a video, the last video I made, talking about so-called false twin flames. That's not really real. But I explained in great detail all of the crazy paranormal shit that should be happening to you here, right? So if you make the goal not getting the person to be with you, but instead going beyond mind, going in here, not fixing the mind, not healing the mind, psychology, you can do that as a side project. That does work really good for law of attraction, though. It does work really good for that, like changing the contents of your mind. But with your twin flame, that backfires because they're not separate from you, your twin flame. That's why that backfires. There's only one of you. Okay. Your twin flame is the only thing in the whole universe which is also you. Everything else is just everything else. So if you're chasing your twin flame, you're pushing them away. That's separation. It's a state of consciousness, not a relationship status. I've made videos about that too. Like, why are we using those words? Where did they come from? Who does that? Do you know anybody that says separation and union to describe a relationship status ever in your life? No. Why did twin flames do it? Because somebody figured out what this really is and they were probably doing it right, but then the internet got a hold of the terminology and they decided to mix it all up. And now it was a big game of telephone. Nobody remembers what the original teachings were, right? It's the internet. Does that with everything, right? Why would twin flames be any different? But separation is this state of mental consciousness where you perceive separateness. So there's me and that whole world out there, right? Or me and my twin flame, my SI, simultaneous incarnation. SI, simultaneous incarnation. And there's a we. We are separate. We are two. No, you're not. Maybe down here in the illusion, right? This physical body, this physical universe, and then you have this mental perception of self, the ego, the personality, which is really a mask. It's not really you. It's not the real you. You are that awareness of the thinking ego. Remember, we just did that little exercise. That's why spiritualism really, if you want to, if there is any physical act, any doing that you could possibly do, which would genuinely be spiritualism, it's meditation. And that's it. Everything else is just maybe adjacent to spiritualism, like Reiki and astrology. You could say it's adjacent to it, but that's really metaphysics, all that kind of stuff. Metaphysics and psychology, all that stuff, right? It's not spiritual. So the mind perceives separateness. But again, you are this awareness. The awareness, when you derive your sense of self from the awareness, they call that, you ready for this? Union. In Zen circles, in Zen traditions. So, what this is going to feel like is as you stop chasing your twin and you're experiencing this deeper consciousness beyond the mind. The mind wants to chase because the mind thinks it's separate from your twin. The mind can't help you no matter what, no matter how much healing you do. It'll never help you because its default setting is separation. That is what it is. And again, I'm using the word separation the real way. There's a video down below in the description called Twin Flames, Separation Consciousness, Unity Consciousness, and Detaching, where I explain what the words really are. Union, separation, and detaching. So when you experience this awareness, the true self, which is your soul, which is your twin flame, your SI, that's when they stop running. And you feel this detachment. Detachment? You've heard that word in some of these twin flame chat rooms. And here's what detaching is. Detaching is when you transcend the separation of mind and you experience union, you realize that You were never attached in the first place because the thing that gets attached is the ego mind. Again, the mask of self, the illusion of self, not the real you. The real you is the awareness. But the thinker, you think you're the mind. You think you are thinking. No, you're not. Like before, like when you were 2 years old, before you had a personality, 1 year old, a newborn baby, what's there? If I was to walk up to you on the street and say, "Who are you?" You're going to tell me this story, right? Well, that personality story amalgamates around the age of 7 or 8. Any psychologist will tell you that. Okay, what was there before? What about the newborn baby? Where is its sense of identity? Just nothing? It's just, it must be dead. No, the baby is alive. Okay, what is that? Life itself, consciousness, the soul. It's aware, and that's all. That's you. That's the real you. And that is union. Okay. And when you experience union, you can't think your way there. You can't figure out how to do it. The harder you think about it, the more you push it away. You are not your mind. You already are not your mind. You are the soul, consciousness. Consciousness is not thought. Thinking different thoughts does not reveal the consciousness either. Again, all you're doing is just tasting your tail, thinking and feeling more emotions. So, when you transcend the mind and you experience this union, you realize that you are all things, especially your twin flame, and you were never attached to begin with. That's detaching because you were never the mind. Only the mind can get attached. Why? Because it's separate and it perceives the world that way. I'm here, everything else is out there, and it gets attached to whatever is out there because it's separation. It can do that. But the soul doesn't do that because it's union, it's unity, it's one. It doesn't need to get attached. That's detaching. Detaching, actually, there's really no detaching either now, is there? Because you were never attached in the first place. But the mind is going to call it detaching. So that's one thing that you're going to experience, this knowing beyond mind that you are all of it. It's not even I'm one with everything. It's there's just one thing, and I am that. This experience of samadhi or unity, union. You feel as though you are the clouds and the sky and the trees and the people and the buildings and everything. You feel that. They call that union or unity consciousness, and you don't understand it. It's this weird, deep knowing. It's spiritual, guys. It's not mental or emotional. You don't understand it in any kind of way that the mind can process because it's beyond concept and mind completely. It's spiritual, guys. It's fucking otherworldly. Okay. Stuff I always talk about. I talk about that. And then, 80% of the people that meet their twin flame, as long as you stop chasing them, you got to stop doing that. That's why they run, guys, because you're making them the goal. You've said this is the outcome, and what I'm telling you is having these deeper experiences and transcending the mind. That's the goal, and that's all inside, guys. If you're focused outside, that's separation. That's the mind. That's what pushes them away. So you got to stop doing that. Again, you could read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. There's also the Samadhi movie, Samadhi, Samadhi. Go watch part one. It's on YouTube for free. Samadhi. Now, 80% of you who, if you really met your twin flame, you'll have Kundalini. And please look into what Kundalini is. Every time I tell people about Kundalini, they start adding all this shit. Like, oh, my foot hurts. That's not Kundalini, dude. Kundalini, just go Google it, guys. Go look it up. It's I'm not telling you what I think Kundalini is. What I'm saying is it's already been established what that is. Go look it up. Stop making stuff up. People always do that and it drives me nuts. I go, you're going to have Kundalini, 80% of you. And they go, oh, well, I got a headache. That's not Kundalini. Urgh. Stop doing that. Because they want to say that they had Kundalini. Why? Because they want their twin flame. You got to stop doing that, guys. You got to stop doing that. So you're undergoing this automated ascension. You feel at one point like you're not part of this physical world anymore. You may for a couple of days even feel like you're numb, like you're under anesthesia almost. But it's like emotional anesthesia. So it doesn't hurt, but it's like this weird numbness. Okay. And then that passes, that's gone. And you're left feeling like you know this great secret. It's right around that time you'll probably start hearing from your twin flame again. And you don't even care. You don't even care anymore, guys. And that's why they want to be with you because you're not coming from the ego mind. So this is the closest thing that I could tell you to stages is you're going to go through all these energetic shifts as you're going along through your awakening. Now, after the awakening is enlightenment. And then enlightenment, I mean, that's permanent, right? The awakening is the crazy part, but it's not going to be like this for the rest of your life. And yeah, your twin flame is going to want to be with you as long as you're not trying to get them to be with you. Again, it's a paradox, guys. So there you go. Go check out my True Twin Flame Teachings playlist on my YouTube channel. I've got a lot of free resources. You can check out my free or my paid coaching. You go check that out too. All right. See you guys.